Authorities in South Sudan say climate change is destroying livelihoods and driving displacement. The UN says almost 900,000 people are now displaced by flooding alone in South Sudan. CGTN's Patrick Oyet has more.
Flooding in Bentiu in the north of South Sudan has forced these families to abandon their homes. They are now looking for an island on which they can temporarily settle. Those who can afford to pay for a canoe are carrying whatever they could salvage from the rising waters. Those who can't are forced to trudge through the water. For all these people, the impact of climate change isn't abstract or theoretical. It is right in front of their eyes.
We were already suffering even before the floods. There are no hospitals nearby, and now the situation is even worse. Because in order to get to the hospital, you need to travel in water for hours, and it requires money that we don't have.
In the eastern and northern parts of the country, local residents have suffered through 3 years of bad flooding. This year, 6 out of 10 states in South Sudan have been affected. The locals here tell us that the water level is still rising. About a month ago, the water level was at that tree. This place was dry and children who are in this area used to play here, but the water has now reached here. So there is a real threat of this place, this small island, with a few number of people who are still surviving. The island can easily be overrun by water. Food is scarce and there is no land to plant crops. Fields are submerged in flood water and higher ground is overcrowded with hungry people.
The worst is yet to come, meaning come the next rainy season in the next 4 to 5 months, we may get it worse. Apart from that, our animals, in the absence of crops, because none of us are produced because of flood. In the absence of crops, we have cows, and now our cows are dying.
At the moment, many here are now dependent on water lilies and fish, but according to the United Nations, those are not sustainable food sources in the long term because access to wild foods will be reduced in the rainy season. So for now, the UN says more than half of the country's population of 13 million will be forced to depend on food aid. Patrick Oyet, CGTN, Bentiu, South Sudan.